outside expectations?
No expectations other than the fact that you just got to go and win, and we got to execute and play our defense and share the ball offensively. Real simple. What we do is simple. That's what makes it, I think, really good. And now it goes back to them going out and being fresh, having good energy, and being together. Bottom line, simple.
Have you felt, though, is there more excitement with this club, with this team, just because of everything that you guys are doing this year?
Yeah, obviously winning is plays a big part. Our being at home now and having your crowd support us the way that they have has been really cool. I think that's like anything, you want to play in great environments and have your fans there cheering you on and your family members. A lot of these kids have their families there, and that's really exciting. And we just understand that we've got 5 more regular season games left, and we want to play our best basketball. We want to keep improving, and then you get the Pac-12 and hopefully the postseason. So one step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time.
Have you, though, allowed yourself to think what a Pac-12 title would mean to this team, to the school?
Well, I think anytime you win a title, it's a great thing. Obviously, it's what you're striving for. And I believe that if you're doing the right stuff off the court all the time, that's the result. The score takes care of itself per se. And our guys have done a really good job of staying focused, having good practices, taking care of their bodies, and for the most part executing game plans, other than a couple times early in games. But championships or you play for it. There's a lot of pride in that, and we want to have and trying to build a consistent championship level program, bottom line. So if we're able to do that, great for the guys and great for the school, great for the alumni, and
To get this far in the conference season with only one loss is obviously a really difficult thing for any group. What's been the key to the consistency, the key to not really having any slip-ups this far?
I think we have a defense that travels. So you have something that you can rely on. I think the guys know what we are and what it takes for us to win. And when we're sharing the ball, and obviously you got to be able to make shots. We have the ability to beat anybody on any given night. And, winning is contagious. But it takes all those things, and it can easily be taken away from you if you don't do those right things. And so the message is very consistent with us all the time. And now they've got to be able to go out there and execute it. And they have so far. And so I think that's the consistency of the defense has been really good, especially in league. The days that we shot the ball, we've been at a really high level. The days we haven't, we've still been able to have an opportunity to win because our defense was really strong.
Have you gotten a chance to break down that 16-minute segment on Wednesday? And just, have you seen anything like that? Because I know, obviously, the zone with Syracuse, you probably had some moments where you guys were able to shut guys down.
Yeah, we had the year with Michael Carter-Williams. We went to the Final Four. We had a defense in the postseason, which meant I think we were still in the Big East. Could have been Big East tournament, and in the NCAA tournament where our defense had record numbers in terms of holding teams to points per game, defensively, poor percentages. It's a great thing. It's a winning defense. Learned a lot from Coach Boeheim, and those our guys have gotten it, and they're getting better at it, and they're believing in it. And when we're active and we got energy, and they're aware of guys that we're trying to take out, we're really good. So, but there's watching that 15-minute segment. I watch every clip, so it's you're going through it, and all I don't necessarily sit there and say that's great. I'm always thinking, how can we be better, or why did we let them have the why did we do this? We allowed them to have 8 points at the end of the game, and I was a little frustrated. It needs to be you're trying to get them to do the right thing all the time. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of crazy, but you're always trying to find a way to improve it, get better at it, where there was lack of communication, and I was happy for the guys, but there's obviously a lot of room to get better.
We've always asked you throughout the season, you want to complete 40 minutes.
Yeah.
How close are they?
Well, I thought at the beginning of the game, I mean, we broke down. We broke down 4 or 5 times and stuff that we went over, and then we got behind. And it was as simple as, hey, guys, listen, these are self-inflicted wounds. We know this. We now got to execute it. Let's relax. You know, we got to find where he is. We got to make sure he doesn't shoot. There's a difference of contesting and taking away. We've got to be, you know, in that game, the first part of the game, we would play defense for unbelievable defense for 28 seconds, and then we wouldn't get the rebound, and they would score. They must have scored 8 to 10 points at the very end, or off an offensive rebound. That's where the 12-second chance points came in. And so, you know, part of that is, you know, it was 28. We got to play for 30, and then we got to finish with rebounding. You know, it's the complete type of game. And so, we've been really, really good, and we've been more consistent over time. But I still think we can play better. I really do. I think, you know, we can rebound better. We can limit our turnovers better. I still think sometimes we can, instead of having a really good shot, we could get a great shot. And I don't think we've had, you know, where you've had 5 or 6 guys have a great game, you know, where they've all at one point had a great offensive game, say. And, you know, as any type of coach, all coaches are like it. You're just trying to, you know, drive them to be the best they can be, bottom line.
What has it meant for you to have the success so early with the guys, the seniors like Thibault, Chris, that you didn't recruit, but that you've been able to coach and blend with them in such an early time? What has that meant for you?
It's meant the world. You know, listen, at the end of the day, as a coach, you want to see growth, and you want to see them experience what it takes to win, and you know, what it takes to sacrifice for the betterment of the team, and everybody's sacrificed a little bit of their game, and to give them the tools to be successful, and then to feel it and experience it. And there's no greater feeling as a coach as when you can see that change, or you can see the buy-in, or you can see them coming together. They're always the easy things to talk about in a press conference or on a paper or whatnot. It's the hardest thing to accomplish. And to see guys become closer as a family, and to start to see them pick each other up off the ground, and encouraging each other, holding them accountable in the locker room of, you know, this is how we operate, this is what we do. To say thank you, and to see them, you know, from everybody from the janitors in the facility to the managers that don't get any credit, and for seeing them say thank you, and just seeing this, you know, a family. And, you know, and then, you know, everybody understands that it's not them, it's everybody plays a significant role. And that's been the fun part for me. I had been a part of something like that for a long period of time, and to see starting the build of that has been a lot of fun.
Hey, I've heard you talk about it before, but during that Christmas break,
Yeah.
Did you guys, or how did it go into where you decided to change your practice habits, or begin the regroup?
Yeah.
Shooting group.
I just felt we needed to do, you know, like, listen, at anything, okay, we're not good at something maybe, and saying, okay, well, how do we get better? Okay, well, let's go down to, we need to get more of them, and we need to get more of the right ones. And so it was, you know, I also felt like as a head coach, I was an assistant coach that was always, I loved being on the court. And the biggest transition of being an assistant coach and a head coach is, it could be fundraising meetings, big vision here, and the real reason why I loved coaching was the grind, the sweat, the bump, the hit, the talk, the intimate relationship with the players. And I thought, so when we started the 3 40-minute sessions, it allowed our coaching staff to get more time with these guys, and in more of an intimate situation, one-on-one. And so the connection was better, and then it was more shots, and then it was more right shots, and then it was, you know, making, you know, 380 shots in 40 minutes and creating another habits, and working harder. And that's what you do when you're not great at something. You know, you create a plan, you work at it, you try to execute it. And so these guys really did it. They bought into it. The coaching staff, Will Conroy, Cam, Dave, they're on that court, you know, 3-4 hours now, even before. But that's what makes them great. That's what makes our staff great, is that's what they love to do. They love to coach. They love to teach. And, you know, like anything, they worked hard with good foundation, good fundamentals, and now they've seen success at it. And that's part of the teaching process. So I think, listen, at the end of the day, I don't know if that's the reason, but when we started doing that, our percentages started going way up.
It's easy to say that the carryover, like you said, when, you know, if you're starting to make shots, then that might carry over to guys playing tougher defense.
Sure. Yeah.
The one more.
Yeah, sure.
When you had those shooting type of things, though, did you see carryover into other aspects that you felt has really made a positive contribution to the whole?
Well, I think also it goes back to, I'm a big energy management guy, and so, you know, I think, you know, we talk about working harder, it's also working smarter. And so sometimes I think coaches can get, you know, coaches practice 3 hours because they're insecure, not because the players are insecure. It's like, we got to do this. And so we just managed it. And our strength coach, Todd Tutkin, Chris Melton, our trainer, Meredith Price, our nutritionist, you know, they're our energy management team. And we get a lot of feedback. They wear heart rate monitors. We just are monitoring their work and what they're eating and how much they're sleeping and all the good stuff. And I think part of, you know, you shoot your best when what? Feel good, you got your legs, you make better decisions when you're not tired. And so part of, I think, our success has been where I said everybody matters. Our energy management, making sure we're getting extra shots. Practices have been shorter but more precise, more awareness. Feeding them right, doing their tutoring, their academic stuff, and just creating those great habits. And I think all of it matters. And so, you know, that's probably the longest answer you've ever had in your life. But you know, they're all slices of the pie, per se.
Do you remember where you guys ranked in the nation in terms of three-point shooting after the knockout conference?
I think we were 211th.
211.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen like a turnaround point? Like I've seen players get better during the season, but an entire team,
no.
Like, you ever quite seen that before?
No. And I think also, with that being said, I think even our three-point field goal percentage defense wasn't where it needed to be. And so we basically improved in both areas, three-point field goal, defending it and then shooting it. And it's the biggest weapon in sport, in basketball. And so I think that we were in the same kind of category. Now we're number one in our league. So it'd be interesting to see what those numbers would correlate if you just split it, like those numbers and then those numbers.
Couple more guys.
Did you do that last year? Because I don't think you did. And was that something that you did at Syracuse?
We didn't do. Yeah, we did a lot of individual improvement, a lot of individual. That's what I loved when I first started coaching. There was no more greater power than to see people improve, foul shooting, confidence, and it was just hard. You know, these kids, the demands are so tough for these kids, and you're practicing, you're doing it. And winter break was a perfect opportunity to do what? To find extra time to get that work in and to kind of reestablish and to kind of raise the standard. And so, you know, I've got a lot of, you know, it's like anything. We've got the ideas, and now it goes back to how can we implement them in their schedules, because there's so many demands on these kids. And so there's still fine-tuning and raising the bar and the standard of our work, and strength and conditioning, nutrition, academically, you know, there's so many pieces, and that was just one element that we wanted, and we finally got it implemented throughout the day, rather than worried about them going and making sure, you know, because a lot of guys go to the gym and they get their shots. No, we're going to be in there with you. Does that make sense?
Right.
And so, and when you've got, you know, Cameron Dahl or Will Conway or Dave Rice, and they're watching you shoot, and or Mike Hyde, and you're in there interacting with them, and there's also a different type of shooting. There's a focus and a connection, and there's so many great things that come out of that. You know, because kids spell love T-I-M-E. You don't want to be the guy on top going, run harder, get in the stance. You know, you're in there working with them, getting them better. I mean, what's better? You know.
Last one, guys.
You talked about the consistency, being able to win even if the offense isn't playing.
Yeah, sure.
Have you seen an improvement in how your group kind of handles those kind of situations over last year? Maybe are they more steady with it?
I think so, and I think that just comes down. That's you know, when they talk about experience through your experiences, that's where you create great poise, a great resiliency, and you understand what it because you've been in that situation now. What do we have to do? And last year, we were really inconsistent. This year, I think early in the year, you play Western Kentucky, you're down 9, first game of the year at halftime, and we made some adjustments. They calmed down. They executed. We ended up winning by 18. Last year, Belmont were down 9 with 6 minutes to go, and we found a way to win. So there's just so many experiences that you can bring back and use as lessons for these guys, and then it's about them being able to go out there and execute, and they've done it. And so that's the experience. Experience that's a great thing.